You are now listening to the smooth sensations and high vibrations of Alex, host of the best relationship channel on YouTube. Alex, drop them gems on us.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Shout out to the Elite Fleet. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can become a member of Elite Fleet. And I got asked a really good question. Good enough that I was like, you know what? I want to share this with the people and make a whole video about it. As always, if you want to ask any questions about relationships, marriages, or anything, you can email me, alexandshamshow@gmail.com. Or if you want any financial advice, because I do give financial advice as well. That's one of my professions. You can email me, alexandshamshow@gmail.com, and I'll answer those questions. Or if you just got a question in general, I think it's good enough to make a video about, you can email the question over. I'll make a video about it. But with all that being said, let's talk about the actual topic at hand, which is, should you be in a long distance relationship? Do long distance relationships work? And my answer to that is yes and no. It's a little bit of both. Yes, if you're older. No, if you're younger. And I'm about to explain it. See, if you're older, you're more established. You're more likely to know what it is that you want, what it is that you expect, what it is that you need moving forward. And you've likely had more experiences in life with a bunch of F-boys and a bunch of thoughts to where you can appreciate someone who shares the same goals as you, shares the same perspectives of you, and checks off your box in terms of personality traits, what they believe they should be as a wife and what they believe a family should look like. You'll be willing to wait if it takes a year, 6 months, if you gotta wait a couple of months or whatever the case may be, drive a few extra miles, catch a few flights to get all that. You'll be able to appreciate that, understand that, and be more patient to wait for that situation to play out. Now, if you're young, I don't think it's going to work out for you for a multitude of reasons. First of all, by young, I'm going to say 24 and under, all right? 24 and under is not going to work out for you. We figure a long distance relationships, you gotta be at least 2-3 hours away, okay? And I'm being nice with that figure. A lot of the time, you're talking about somebody being in New York and one person being in, Pennsylvania, or one person being in Texas and one person being in Florida. A lot of times, it's even further than that, okay? So you gotta think about someone under 24. What are they usually doing? They're usually still in college, just getting ready to finish up college, or if they're young, way younger, they're in high school, which means you got 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, okay? And that's assuming you just get a bachelor's. You go to get a master's, or depending on what you're in school for, let's say you're getting a doctorate, you're getting dentistry, you're being a lawyer or something, you got 8-something years, all right? You're not going to be in a position where the scenery is changing anytime soon. If you go to a high school somewhere and another kid goes to high school 3-4 hours away, y'all ain't changing positions no time soon. So that's going to be y'all life for some years within us. If you go to one college, the person you talk to goes to another college, that's going to be your life for years within us. And even if you're out of school, let's say you're in the 23, 24-year-old range, you're fresh out. So again, you're still looking for a job, you're getting on your feet, you're still establishing yourself in life. You probably still don't even know exactly what direction you want to go with yet, right? So the likelihood that that gap in space is closing anytime soon, slim to none. When you're older and you're in a longer distance relationship, you have more funds, okay? So if you need to catch that flight, you can catch that flight. You also are more established in life. You already know what you're doing. You already got your degree or your trade or started your business or whatever it is you want to do. So you're more solidified, as in, I know this is where I want to be. You can move a woman down to where you're at. You can fly her up. You can fly her back, you can move her in, or you can move in with her. She might, have a spot that you might be more willing to move in there. Might be better job prospects there, right? But you know where you're going to. So you can say, hey, you might come here, we're going to be here for 2 years, but then we're going to go over there. If you're younger, you don't know where the hell you're at. You don't know where you're going. You don't know your left from your right. You don't really know what's going on, okay? So that's number one. Number two, when you're younger, you lack the sexual maturity and the emotional maturity to really sustain a long distance relationship, all right? Again, you're probably going to be seeing this person 2, maybe 3 times a year when you're that young. If you're lucky, all right? Because you just don't have the funds to close that gap. So, you see this person 1, 2, maybe 3 times a year. After a while, that beatbox is going to start rocking. It's going to start wanting to start thotting. That's just the reality of the situation. You're going to want to start thotting. You're going to want to start exploring. And even if you don't cheat on the dude physically, they definitely about to cheat on your ass emotionally. We talking about, like, you going to have the girl who go to work making dudes apple pies like the one dude's girlfriend made me. That's going to be your girl. Making apple pies, complaining about how far you are away. Or, cuddling up with some other dude, or forming a whole another emotional connection with another dude, which in some cases can be worse than just sleeping with another dude, to be honest with you. She snugged up, she making the dude food, she doing all types of wifely shit for another dude who's supposed to be your woman. And vice versa for the dudes, we ain't even really gotta say. You already know you're gonna want to put your stick in something. You're gonna want to dip your stick, get a dipping stick going. You walking around all these fine ass women, you working with all these fine ass women, you at school, wherever the case may be, with all these fine ass women. The testosterone was already pumping, you already solid as a rock all the damn time. You ready to go. The likelihood your ass gonna stay faithful, slim to none. You just more likely to physically cheat, where she's more likely to emotionally cheat. But then again, like I said, which one's worse? Is it worse that your man smashed the chick and never talked to her anymore? Or is it worse that your girl never smashed the chick, but she made him a 3-course meal and told him about her day and was talking to him about you? You decide. But either way, that's why I said you lack the emotional maturity and the sexual maturity most of the time to be able to sustain that. Again, young people, and this goes back to the emotional maturity part of it, young people tend to think the grass is always greener on the other side, right? Like, you hear all the women that all constantly say that Beyonce line, you must not know about me, and all that other stuff. I can have another you in a minute. That's their mentality, because they haven't been burnt enough. Again, going back to that emotional maturity, they haven't been burnt enough to understand, listen, you can't have another husband in a minute. You can have another D in a minute. You can go on another date in a minute, but another husband, you ain't going to get that. Alright, most women, if you get married, you get divorced, you ain't even getting a second marriage. And then if you do get a second marriage, 9 out of 10 times going to end even faster than your first one did. That's just the fact. Dudes, we have our saying too, girls are like buses, miss one, next 15, one coming. Cool if you're just looking for someone to smash, if you're just looking for a thought, but you ain't running into no wife every 15 minutes. You're not. And again, that goes back to that emotional maturity piece. Older people understand that. So it's like, yo, this person's checking all these boxes, but I gotta wait a year. It's worth it because I understand ain't gonna be that many wives coming off buses. You ain't gonna get another husband in a minute. Younger people, they don't get that. They got all these options, especially the women when they're younger, they're at their sexual peak. Okay, dude, when he's younger, all he thinking about is smashing. So they don't understand that. Like that interpersonal aspect of, wow, this is something special. This is someone investing a lot of time into me. That doesn't really stick with you when you're young. When you're young, you're just like, oh, I got all the time in the world, I can get back to it. I'm going to get right back. That's going to be your mindset. So that's not a mindset that's designed for longevity when it comes to long distance relationships. All right, so that's someone older. They've already been burned 1,001 times, so they'll appreciate someone, doesn't matter the distance, who's not doing that to them, okay? They done already had their fun. They already done did what they had to do. So they're not going to be pressed to go out here and have sexual experiences. And again, they can close the gap. They're going to see each other way more than 1 or 2 or 3 times a year, all right? And the third reason, I don't think you should be in a long distance relationship for longer than a year, year and a half max. Somebody's got to close the gap. Somebody's got to move in with someone. You got to get that gap closed. Otherwise, you're just asking for trouble. Again, older people are in more of a position to quickly be able to uproot, switch jobs, or find out which direction they're going, who's moving with who. They have castles already built for people to move into, things of that nature, okay? You young, you staying in a dorm. You young, you got roommates. You young, you with your mama's house. You're not in a position to really bring anyone to you. So you still have to bring the kingdom to bring the person to in the first goddamn place. Vice versa. Same thing with the women. They don't have anything to bring you into either. So the gap's probably not going to be closed, going back to what I said earlier, in less than a year to a year and a half, which is just going to put a further strain and stress on the relationship. All right, so that's why I think if you're older and you found a person that checks all the boxes, long distance could definitely work. I've seen it work. It could definitely work. You're younger, I just don't think it's going to. Someone's going to break the mold. Someone's going to fold. It's probably not going to last. And to be honest with you, I do believe that people need time to figure themselves out, live their life, get into a few relationships, have a few heartbreaks, just so they can understand themselves and understand the opposite sex better. Okay, I'm not saying y'all gotta go out here and sleep around. I'm just saying y'all need to have experiences. Okay, it's probably not gonna work when you're younger. Again, not in all cases. There are some exceptions. Like for example, a woman who's a virgin who's under 24, she probably have no problem with long distance because she's been waiting her whole goddamn life, right? There's some dudes who don't really have access to a lot of women like that, may not have such a problem with a long distance because ain't nobody coming to him anyway. So some people are a little bit more mature sexually and emotionally for their age. So there are some exceptions to the rule, but generally it's only really going to work out for older people. If you're younger, I say just stay away from it in general. Deal with someone local or just wait until you have yourself more together before you put yourself into that situation. But that's my thoughts on that. I am Malix and I am out.